Hello everybody, my name's Nicola and welcome back to my channel. This is the Frugal Cottage, where we talk all things money to help you on your financial journey. Today's video is all about the 5 financial habits that you should start today, and this is Vlogmas Day 4. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let's get started. So 5 financial habits to start today that will put you in such good shape to start 2021. And they're so easy to do. So number 1 is to start a budget and start saving. So if you're unsure about this, the best thing you can do for your finances is to get a budget in place and start putting money into savings, both short term and long term. So budget, I've got so many videos about budgeting now. I'll leave a link below to my recent budget with me and also the zero-based budget method, which are the 2 kind of ways that I show how we budget. But you need to figure out what your money situation is, and then you can start putting it to work for you. So things like your sinking funds and your emergency fund can start to be built. Number 2 is to set aside some time to review your finances. It's all said and good if you get a budget in place and you're like, yeah, I've got a budget, I know what I'm doing. It doesn't work if then you don't ever go back to that. So I like to use pen and paper to review our finances, and also a spreadsheet for that kind of the overview if you like. But there is something to be said for kind of just going back over and looking and checking and seeing what you're doing. I'll leave a link below to my 10-minute budget routine, because that is essentially all it takes me every day, just to go over the day, especially if I've not spent anything. It's even quicker. But just to write down what I spent, see if I've had a no spend day or not, and kind of look at the overall finances. Having a kind of financial routine, A, shouldn't take you long at all once you've got in the habit, but B, is there as a really good tool to show you if you're on track or not, but also just to get in the habit of being knowledgeable about your own money. Number 3 is to enrol in a pension scheme if you're not already in one, or review what your pension contributions are looking like at the moment. So it's really important, no matter how old you are, to be looking ahead to retirement, because even in your 20s, time is on your side at that point, but you also need to be thinking about the long term. You are going to retire at some point, and thinking about building that there. Now, most employers, especially in the UK, should have you in some kind of pension scheme already, but just check and see if you are. Check and see what kind of contribution you put in and what your employer puts in. If you're self-employed, there are self-employed or self-invested personal pensions that you can do, or known as SIPs. You need to look, especially if you're self-employed, so therefore no one else is responsible for that, you are. You need to be looking at that, because now is the best time to look at opening one if you don't already. And if you've already got a pension, yet like I said, review what you're already contributing, what your employer contributes. Could you afford to put in maybe 1% more in there? Have a look and see what it looks like. I get a kind of a statement, or I can log on to mine anytime, but it kind of gets updated once a year, and it tells me what my pension would be like if I stopped adding to it today, and what the income would be for that. Now obviously I don't intend on stopping it today, but it's handy to keep an idea on what the kind of numbers are looking like, and they might seem really disappointing. Mine, when I log on it, I'm like, oh, that's such a small amount, but then I've got to remember that I am going to contribute to it for at least another 15 if not 20 years, and then hopefully it'll look a lot better. So have a look at pensions or your own pension, and have a look at opening one or getting registered one if you don't already. Number 4 is to pay off debt. Now I appreciate that at the moment things might be really tough, and things might look like they're going to be quite tough for a while, but if you are in a position where you've got debt and you've still kind of got your job and things are fairly normal, now is the time to get rid of that debt. There is nothing worse than having that kind of looming over you and having so much go out in terms of minimum payments. So be brave, write down what you've got in terms of debt and formulate a plan to get rid of that. Even if it means in the short term kind of trying to transfer it to 0% balance card, so you're not paying interest on what you've got on a credit card, might be the first step there. But have a look, try and see, try and get in the habit of paying that off and not adding any more to it. Again, it might be tough this month as well, but it's such a relief when you get rid of that. Then that should probably be one of your top priorities. And hopefully if you're watching a channel like this, you might already kind of know that anyway. And the 5th one, Now, I couldn't talk about financial habits to start today without mentioning this, and you know what I'm going to say, but number 5 is to start investing, even if it's £10 a week. I've got a video on my free trade experimental portfolio. I'll leave a link below to the latest one. I invest £10 a week into that. Most people, not everybody, but most people could find £10 a week in their budget from somewhere. Get that, start investing, start growing your wealth, start growing that long-term wealth and see where it gets you. I've got lots of videos about investing on my channel. I'll leave a link below to the playlist that they're all in if you want to have a look after this one for some ideas on how to get started. But they are my 5 financial habits to start today, so let's reflect on those. So the first one is to start a budget and start saving for those short-term aims. The second one is setting time aside to review your finances, even if that's once a week. It doesn't have to be like I do mine every day, but that's because I've got in the habit of that, and that's why I like just get in the habit of checking your finances regularly. Number 3 is to check your pension scheme if you are in one, or enroll in one if you are not. Number 4 is to pay off debt, and number 5 is to start investing, and they are my financial habits I think you should start today. Now, do you agree with me? Do you think I've missed anything really glaringly obvious from that list? Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 5.